Yo, everybody! New DVD review, new pack. It's not really that new. I actually bought this a while ago, but it's still a great set that I thought I might promote. I am a huge fan of the Saw movies, which yeah, you can see it. Which started with James Wan's movie, and oh my God, what year was it? 2004, I think. Which maybe it's on the DVD itself. No. Anyways, James Wan started the series with Saw. Um, great little, great little horror flick with a great idea. I remember I didn't hear anything about this movie until I read a review. I think in the newspaper. Back then, I didn't know of any I barely knew who Roger Ebert was at this point, so except for our standard newspaper reviews, I didn't get any news about movies. So um, I read that the idea about two guys chained to separate sides of a bathroom, and one of them has to kill each other before the game is over. It was basically what I heard, and I really liked that idea. It came out in theaters, and I was at this point, yeah, I must have been 17, 18 when it came out. And I don't know why I was going a lot to the cinemas at the time, but I never went to see Saw in the theater. So then the rumors came, and what I was described was the most hardcore, sickest movie I would ever see. That was basically the word that came back to me. And of course, that just piqued my interest more because I was really hitting my stride and getting back to horror movies at this point. Um, I've always been a fan of them, and but I was scared of them as a kid, and for a really long time I avoided them because I thought they would still scare me. It's just at some point I watched Scream 2 of all movies, and that kind of cured me of being afraid to watch scary movies. Um, and I was really getting back into it, and so I went to rent the DVD. I rented it, and went home and I watched it. And though it's kind of a blur how it went the first time I saw it, I know I really liked it. It was free, it was scary, it was gory to some small degree, which is the genius of the first movie. It's more in your head. It was more suggestive. It's kind of like all the people who went and saw Reservoir Dogs in the theater back in the day and came back and told these horror stories about this violent, crazy movie. And it was just it was just the suggestion of violence. You knew people were getting shot. You heard people were getting shot. We were indicated, or we saw, but we didn't see the action of an ear being cut off. Stuff like that. It made the movie more violent than it actually was. And the same thing goes for Saw. If you go back and look at it now, if you haven't seen Saw in many, many years, and maybe you've just seen the sequels in the meantime, the first one is a totally different movie. It's more of a psychological experiment about these two. Sorry I keep rubbing my nose, but it's itching. It's I think I have to sneeze or something, but I can't really fix it. Um, yeah, yeah, whatever. It's just a really easy experiment about these two guys and what they're willing to do to get out of a crisis. Dr. Gordon and Adam, is it? I'm really not sure. Jesus Christ, it's been a while. Yeah, and you also see Danny Glover as the cop trying to chase down the guy who are doing these traps to people, and you get explained that He puts up these games. He doesn't really kill anybody. He makes them go through trials, and if they fail, they kill themselves. And in most cases, up until this point in the timeline, I think you have at least more failures than successes. I think maybe. Yeah, I'm going through a box set here, so this will be spoiler free. This, if I don't remember incorrectly, Hoffman and Amanda are both helping Jigsaw at this point. But yeah, I'm not doing a review of all of them. I just wanted to talk about the first one a bit. It's a great crime horror movie with some great ideas and some great effects, and it was just a smart film for a cheap buck. And being a great idea for a cheap buck that a lot of people saw, then of course you had the sequel, and that was done it premiered a year after the first one. And basically, that continued all the way to part 7, which is Saw 3D, as it is also called, or the final chapter. Which is kind of fun that we actually got a series that, even though they're planning on making either a remake or 8, I'm not quite sure where that's going, I don't see how they're going to connect that to this. So this will basically be Saw Phase 1. And then the final chapter will actually be the final chapter, at least for this phase. Yeah, so over the years they came out. I saw the second one in the theaters. The third one I didn't. The fourth, actually none of the others I did. They just came and went for me. I bought some of the DVDs on the way. I bought 1, 2, and 3. I skipped 4, 5, 6, and then 7, because by 7 I was already planning to get some kind of set like this. And I did watch them, to be quite honest. I pirated 4, 5, and 6, downloaded them, and I watched them and I liked them. 6 is probably my favorite, because I feel of all the people who gets kind of put in the trap, these are kind of the people you would want to see get put in the traps. Those who just makes decisions, and though it's their job and whatever, doesn't really give it a second thought about how that affects people's lives. But I watched them all and I liked them all. I would say top to bottom, 6, 1, 2, 6, 1, 7, 2, 5, 3, 4. Yeah, that would be my. But of course, this is what's genius about this, and which a lot of fucking reviewers, at least in Norway, did skip over, is that this is a continuous story. This links, every chapter is linked together. There's a story going through this whole thing. If you watch just this one, you will not get the full story. You might get a scary. You probably won't get a scary movie. You just get a gory movie. That's what you get. If you put this whole thing together, even though it wasn't probably planned from the start, at least from 4, it started to get conformed into one idea. It's a great story about a man's journey, trying to teach other people to appreciate the lives they are giving. I can say for myself, I would be put in one of these traps right the fuck away if he was in my vicinity. And I would probably fail the test. I hope not. I really hope not. But I don't know. I don't want to lose an arm and stuff like that shit. No, I couldn't choose, and that would probably be the end of me. But yeah. So all of them released, and I have to say seven, even though it wasn't the highest on my ranking. I love seven. I found it to be a perfect wrap up of this whole series. It hit every single point that I wanted to hit. I remember watching it and just I was not totally happy up until the game of the movie was over because I was scared that this would just be another game and that was it. And through the last 10, 15, or 20 minutes, again, it's been a while, it hits every single point that I wanted it to hit. And I'm totally satisfied with this series as a whole. The box itself, I found at a local shop. It was priced at about 500 kroners, so for 7 Blu-ray discs, that is not bad. If because I said 500, normal price for one disc on release would be 150. So it's a good value. It's not a specialized box set where they sort of did anything special for it. It's basically a collection of the director's cut unrated versions of the DVDs. These were all released on DVD a couple of months before the new movie would come out. So you had original DVD release, which I own, and then later you would get the uncut versions and the director's cuts. And if you own any of these, you see it's kind of a flimsy kind of cardboard here, which is probably glued together, and you shouldn't bend too much with the circle of people that you got here from Saw 6, the carousel, which is one of my favorite traps actually. But if you own any of these discs from before, it's the precise same. This is even looking like the DVD version, and this too. They are all the same standard editions. Or, no, not the standard editions. Unrated director's cut editions. As I was going through Welsh's Saw retrospective, he usually comments on the bonus material. There's no description of the bonus material on the box, but all bonus material that was originally on the disc are present. And as he talks about the stuff like the commentaries and all the stuff like that, and except for I think it's on Saw 3, where you have on one of the DVDs he owns, you have a commentary track with oh my god, Toby, Jigsaw, sorry, Jigsaw and Shawnee Smith, Amanda, where they talk about their experience of the 3 first movies, and that commentary is not on this set. So that's basically the only thing I'm missing. Other than that, it's a good set for a good value. You get the Blu-ray editions. The Blu-rays look goddamn fantastic. You do not get a 3D. Do you actually? No, you do not get a 3D version of Saw the Final Chapter. So that you would have to buy separate. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think it's that much more to say about it. I really, really love this series. This is probably, if Freddy Krueger, A Nightmare on Elm Street is my series of my childhood, then this is of my youth, my young adult years, my 20-somethings. A fantastic set, a fantastic story with fantastic actors and fantastic art direction, cinematography, directors. Darren Lynn Bousman will be a hit or miss with you, but except for 4, I think he works. I think his transactions through live sets are just awesome. Throw a bitch through a window, the camera follows through, and then you're in the police station. It's just like, that's genius. That's really cool. Um, Too bad that James Wan didn't do more than 1. I think maybe he should have come back for 7. But yeah, fantastic set for a fantastic price. Buy it right now wherever you can find it. Saw, the complete Saw 1 through 7 collection on Blu-ray and DVD if you want it.